Louis Vuitton, Dior, Kenzo, Moet and Chandon, Hennessy, Sephora. What does each of these brands have in common? They are all owned by LVMH, the world's largest and most powerful luxury brand, which supplies people around the world with the luxuries that they so desire. They are the kings of luxury fashion. Bernard Arnault is the richest person in fashion and the king of luxury. Not only does he own the world's largest luxury producer, he is a man of impeccable taste. $46.6 million mansions, mountains of masterwork art pieces from the greats like Van Gogh and Picasso, yachts, fine dining, high-end fashion, jewelers. Every single thing that you can imagine. What kind of life could have Bernard lived to obtain such riches? How hard did he have to work? And what did he do to make this kind of money? And how hard did he have to work for it? 5th March 1949, Bernard was born into a well-off family. His mother was a pianist and his father owned a civil engineering firm. This meant that Bernard was allowed to grow up free from the extreme stress and strain of poverty. This meant that he had the free time and energy to dedicate himself fully to his studies. This means that when he was raised in a strict Catholic Auvergne style by his devoutly Catholic grandmother, who taught him skills like discipline and patience by making him learn arts like the classical piano. This would shape Bernard into a diligent and intelligent man, capable of handling complex issues. He would be taught in Catholic schools. These were prestigious schools which prepared him for the difficulties of life and strengthened his already strong character. These traits that were fostered in him since a young age would come to be a massive benefit to him because they allowed him to become one of the most successful businessmen in the world. He graduated from France's leading engineering school, École Polytechnique. And as soon as he graduated, he went into the world of business, entering his father's civil engineering company. He would assist his father for the next 3 years, until one day he decided that the business should shift focus. He thought that the business needed to shift from construction to real estate, and this resulted in the company selling its industrial construction divisions and renaming itself to Farnell. He helped his father with the business for the next 3 years, gaining his trust and displaying his discipline, intelligence, and business acumen time and time again. This resulted in him eventually becoming the president of the company in 1978. However, he was only able to stay in this position for 6 years. His company was being taken over by the Boussac-Saint-Frère Empire, a textile and retail conglomerate that owned Christian Dior. Because of this acquisition, he chose to leave the company, and with the help of Antoine Bernheim, Arnault was able to acquire the Financière Agache, a luxury goods company. He then bought the Boussac-Saint-Frères empire for a ceremonial 1 franc. In effect, he was not only able to take back control of his father's company, he was able to become the owner of a large conglomerate. Using this power, he would begin to optimize the business, cutting out anything that didn't generate money or value for customers, laying off 9,000 employees and making many changes to the company structure. The Terminator, that's what people like to call him. By the time he was done, the only thing left in the company was Christian Dior and Le Bon Marché department store. The rest he had sold off. With these changes, the company was finally profitable. In 1987, they pulled in $112 million of profit from a revenue stream of $1.9 billion. With this kind of success in the business world, Bernard could have retired as an incredibly rich man with a lot of money. However, he didn't stop there. He formed LVMH with 2 other men. He provided a lot of value to the newly formed company, and over time his influence on the company grew, finally gaining 43.5% control of total shares and 35% of the voting rights. Using this power, he would strong-arm himself into a position where he was the undisputed CEO of LVMH. Over the next few years, Bernard and his company would continue to acquire many other companies and designers. The nature of these companies would range from fashion to newspapers to perfume and even web platforms. Generally speaking, what we saw was the LVMH company rising from its modest place to being one of the largest fashion and luxury conglomerates in the world, reaching a record-breaking €313 billion in 2021. This is because the LVMH conglomerate lets the brands operating under it operate with lots of support, while also being decentralized from the greater LVMH family. Because of this, they have much more creative freedom than most brands operating under conglomerate organizations. Because of this freedom and creativity, these brands are allowed to experiment and fail as much as they need, resulting in greater profits in the long run, because they can explore blue ocean business strategies by having the freedom to experiment. With such hard work, it's hard to imagine that he isn't successful. How successful is he? And did he earn his success? As of 2024, Bernard Arnault became the world's richest person, with an estimated net worth of $207.8 billion, surpassing figures like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. This milestone highlights the efficiency of his business philosophy of allowing creatives the freedom to experiment and try out new things. And this also highlights his miraculous business acumen and diligence. The reason for this is that he was able to elevate himself beyond the simple stature of a normal person to being the world's most successful person. He is 79. With his age, there are concerns that he may die within the next few years. Because of this, there is speculation on who may become the next success of the LVMH empire. With his 5 children holding ongoing senior management roles in his company, one of them may likely become his successor. However, none of them has been explicitly selected as an heir. Because of this, the future of the company is up in the air. Despite this uncertainty, Bernard tries to enjoy the finer things in life, with one of the largest art collections in the world. With a collection including many genres encapsulating contemporary art, classical work, and even sculpture. This appreciation for the arts and the aesthetic extends to the fact that his collections include some of the most appreciated and celebrated artists in the world: Pablo Picasso, Henri Matisse, Andy Warhol, and Jeff Koons. This appreciation for the aesthetic might sound like it might seem like it's coming from nowhere, but think about it. He is someone who owns hundreds of fashion brands and other businesses, because it is clear that he most likely had to develop a fine appreciation for the craft and design of artistic products. With such an intense focus on the arts, it's important to question, is he giving back to the community? He is someone who is also deeply tied to the world of philanthropy. Using the Louis Vuitton Foundation, he can run several programs to support art education and support young talents. And he has many large and notable donations to many causes, including the repairing of the Notre Dame. With this selflessness, it's important to still have selfishness. And with such fabulous wealth, Bernard allows himself to enjoy some of the best luxuries in the world. For example, his main home is in the Parisian Hotel Particular, an €80 million mansion, or his Château Saint-Rémy-des-Landes, or the Nin Park Estate. He has many homes and mansions befitting someone of this stature and wealth. He also owns 2 private vineyards, a 101-meter-long yacht, it's known as Symphony, with all the amenities and even a helicopter landing pad and a private jet. This is only a modest taste of what kinds of luxuries he enjoys daily. It's likely that with him, highly valuing personal privacy, he enjoys many more luxuries than we could ever imagine. Bernard Arnault's rise from a disciplined, well-educated young man to the leader of the LVMH empire showcases his visionary leadership and relentless drive. Under his guidance, LVMH has become a global luxury powerhouse, dominating fashion and expanding into art and technology. Arnault's impact extends beyond business. His vast art collection and philanthropy, including support for art education and the restoration of Notre Dame, highlight his commitment to culture and giving back. As he approaches the end of his career, his legacy remains solid, influencing both the luxury industry and the art world for years to come. 2.